Hello, good morning. Welcome once again to News Updates brought to you by Studio 77, your go-to source for the latest and the most important stories. And Ade Adeleke Favor Olajuti guilty, always on duty. Now, if you pick up on yesterday's headline, EFCC releases very dark man after 5 days in detention. Nigeria joins global legal body for sustainable development. Police arrest 95 suspected cultists and recover 25 firearms in Edo State. Ex-Lagos Assembly aspirant John's PDP joins Labour Party. I will welcome Kwankwaso if he joins APC Ganduje. Access Zenith, six other banks grow investment securities to 41.7 trillion naira. Nigeria contributes significantly to over 100 health emergencies in Africa, WHO. PSG defeats Arsenal to set up Champions League final with Inter Milan. UK government denies changes to visa rules in Nigeria. Now let's dive into the news of the day. On the national news, man buried with properties after drowning himself in Osun River. A man who reportedly took his own life by jumping into the Osun River has been buried side along some of his personal belongings. Local customs influence the burial process, drawing attention to both cultural beliefs and rising mental health concerns. JAMB to release VTMA results today. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has announced that the results for 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) will be released on Friday today. Candidates are advised to check the board's website for their results. Reps urge federal government to establish more NYSC camps. The House of Representatives has urged the federal government to establish additional NYSC orientation camps around the country. Lawmakers cited the need to decongest existing facilities and improve conditions for core members. Senate passes two remaining tax bills. The Nigeria Senate has passed the final two tax bills that are part of the government's fiscal reforms. These bills aim to simplify tax processes, boost compliance, and support revenue generation efforts. Court adjourns ruling on self-crowned monarch to May 12. A court in Ondo State has postponed ruling on a case involving a man who crowned himself monarch without the state approval. This case has been adjourned to May 12 for judgment. NAFDAC arrests man producing 114 million naira fake drinks in Lagos. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC) has arrested a man in Lagos for manufacturing counterfeit beverages worth an estimated 114 million naira. The agency says investigations are ongoing. Now let's move on to the news on politics. Akpabio seeks court order for Natasha to delete satirical apology. Senate President Godswill Akpabio is seeking a court order to compel Natasha Akpoti to delete the satirical apology post she made regarding sexual harassment allegations. The legal move escalates the ongoing controversy between both figures. Akpabio slams Obi for saying Nigeria's past heroes failed. Akpabio has criticized Labour Party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, for stating that Nigeria's founding leaders failed the nation. He described Obi's remark as disrespectful to the sacrifice of past national icons. Anambra banned party uniforms during Tinubu's visit. The Anambra state government prohibited the wearing of the party-branded outfit during President Tinubu's visit. Authorities say the measure is aimed at maintaining neutrality and preventing clashes among party supporters. Supreme Court judgment. Oti demands Abu arrest as INEC clarifies stance. Governor Alex Oti has called for the arrest of Labour Party chairman Julius Abure following a Supreme Court judgment. Meanwhile, INEC has clarified that its recognition of Abure remains valid pending further legal development. Anambra APC chieftain criticizes Soludo's performance. An APC leader in Anambra State has publicly criticized Governor Charles Soludo's administration, accusing him of underperformance and failing to deliver key development promises made during his campaign. Labour Party next suspends Farouk Abure and Farouk for 6 months. The Labour Party National Executive Council (NEC) has suspended its chairman Julius Abure and secretary Farouk Ibrahim for 6 months, citing misconduct and ongoing internal conflict. Now let's move on to the world of business and economy. IMF confirms Nigeria's full repayment of $3.4 billion loan. The International Monetary Fund has confirmed that Nigeria has fully repaid the $3.4 billion emergency loan it obtained during the COVID-19 pandemic. The repayments reflect improved fiscal discipline and economic recovery. NGX ends day in green with 240 billion naira boost. The Nigerian Stock Exchange (NGX) ended the trading day on a high note with a gain of 240 billion naira. The positive trend was driven by strong performances in the banking and industrial sectors. Now let's move on to the world of health. Ondo State, WHO, partners and caregivers unite to promote vaccination during African Vaccination Week. As part of African Vaccination Week, Ondo State collaborated with the World Health Organization, caregivers and health partners to promote immunization awareness and increase vaccine uptake, especially in underserved communities. Short sleep can shorten your health. A university lecturer has warned that chronic sleep deprivation can have serious health consequences. According to the expert, insufficient sleep can weaken immunity, increase stress, and heighten the risk of chronic diseases. Now let's move on to the dynamic world of sports. Manchester United beat Athletic Bilbao 7-1 on aggregate to reach Europa League final. Manchester United cruised into the Europa League final with an overwhelming 7-1 aggregate victory over Athletic Bilbao. The team now looks ahead to the final as a chance to end the season with silverware. Anything but Europa League glory means nothing for Manchester United. Amorim. Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has stated that failing to win the UEFA Europa League would make the season meaningless, emphasizing the importance of the upcoming final for the club's ambition. Under 20 AFCON, Nigeria survived scare to clinch quarter-final spot. Nigeria's under 20 football team narrowly secured a spot in the quarter-finals of the Africa Under 20 Cup of Nations. The Young Eagles overcame a tough challenge, keeping hopes alive for continental glory. Now let's move on to the international news. White smoke rises from Vatican as cardinals elect new pope. White smoke has risen from the Sistine Chapel, signaling that a new pope has been chosen. The centuries-old tradition marks the successful conclusion of the papal conclave in Vatican City, watched by millions around the world. American Robert Francis emerges new pope. In a historical shift, American-born Cardinal Robert Francis has been elected the new pope, becoming the first American and one of the few non-Europeans to hold the position His election is expected to bring a new perspective to the leadership of the Catholic Church. Bill Gates to give away 99% of his fortune. Tech billionaire and philanthropist Bill Gates has reiterated his commitment to donate 99% of his wealth. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, he aims to tackle global challenges such as poverty, disease, and education inequality. And with this, we've come to the end of today's news update. Do well to give us a like, share, and comment, and also follow us on our social media platforms. On Instagram at the Studio 077, on Facebook at Studio 77, on X at Studio 077, on YouTube at Studio 77, and on TikTok at the Studio 77. Do not forget that the news does not stop, and neither do you. Join me again next week for more updates. I remain briefly always on duty. Till then, stay informed, stay safe, and have a great weekend ahead. Bye.